When the neighborhood know-it-all met a real engine expert, my 10-year-old Leo is a total gearhead. Since he was 6, he's been obsessed with how things work, especially vintage muscle cars. Last year for his birthday, we bought him an original signed shop manual from a legendary NASCAR mechanic. Leo treats that book like a relic. But then there's our neighbor, Mr. Henderson. He's one of those guys who thinks 20 years of DIY beats actual engineering. Last Saturday, Henderson was out in his driveway, tinkering with an old Mustang, surrounded by a group of neighborhood kids. I heard him tell them, the secret to these engines is using high-octane fuel to keep the valves clean. Science proves it runs hotter and burns off the gunk. Leo, who was washing his bike nearby, piped up, "Actually, Mr. Henderson, that's a myth. Higher octane just prevents pre-ignition. It doesn't burn hotter. It actually burns slower to stop the engine from knocking." Henderson stopped, his face turning a bright shade of tomato. "Listen here, kid," he barked. "I've been wrenching since before your dad was in diapers. Your little picture book is wrong. Go play with your Legos." The next day, Leo tried to show him the page in his signed manual. Henderson didn't even look. He actually grabbed the book, tossed it onto a greasy workbench, and told Leo he was disrupting the peace with misinformation. I was livid. I went over to get the book back, and Henderson just scoffed. "I don't need car facts from a kid who can't even drive," he said. That's when I called my old college roommate Mike, who just happens to be a lead powertrain engineer for Ford. 3 days later, Mike pulled into our cul-de-sac in a pristine, chrome-heavy prototype. Henderson's jaw dropped. Mike walked over, introduced himself as a specialist, and asked to see the Mustang. In front of all the kids, Mike pulled out a digital diagnostic tool and a thermal camera. "Actually," Mike said, loud enough for the whole block to hear, "the kid is 100% right. Using high octane in this stock engine is literally just throwing money into the exhaust." He showed the kids the live data. The temperature readings didn't lie. Henderson stood there staring at the screen, getting redder by the second as a real expert dismantled his 20 years of wisdom. Mike then walked to the workbench, picked up Leo's manual, wiped off the grease, and handed it back to Leo. He even pulled out a silver Sharpie and signed it right next to the original signature. Now, Henderson doesn't give car lectures anymore. And Leo, he's the official neighborhood consultant for anyone whose engine is making a funny noise.